Hello, and welcome to Monsters, Magic, and Mathrocks. I'm Anna, and I will be your Dungeon Master for this Tal'Dorei adventure. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Teagan. I'm going to be playing Jack. She, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'll be playing Bastille, he, him pronouns.
Hello, I'm Josh. I'm playing Nico Blue. He, him are his pronouns.
Hey, I'm Oz. I'm going to be playing Adrasteia, she, her pronouns.
Okay, so let's get started, adventurers. Okay, so this campaign is going to start in Westruun. Now, not all of you are from Westruun or here in Westruun currently. In fact, we are going to start with Jack. Jack, you are just now coming into the city. You've tagged along with a caravan and you enter Westruun in the residential ward, and you're coming through the gates and you're splitting off from that caravan. What brought Jack? Well, first of all, why don't you give us a description of Jack? What does Jack look like? What do we see here?
Jack is human. She is a little 5'3", shorty with very vibrant pink hair that's tied up in a braid to the back, and she's wearing just dusty travel clothes, leathers that she's found along the way, and yeah, she's got a little scar on her left eye.
Okay, and what brought Jack to Westruun?
Adventure and to find herself, where she came from.
Alrighty. So, Jack, as you enter through the residential gate, or the gate by the residential ward, I want you to go ahead and roll me a perception check.
First roll.
No.
First roll of the campaign.
Oh, it's gonna dictate the rest of it, isn't it?
Probably.
Roll well!
Oh God! Come on, Pinky.
Doesn't sound good.
It's an 11.
11.
It could be worse.
Okay, no, I mean, y'all are level 5, so 11's not terrible. And 11 is enough because, Ashley, why don't you describe Bastille, who is also kind of arriving at the same time, although not from the same caravan. In fact, Jack, you notice him because he's alone and nobody else is around him. So, Ashley, go ahead and describe Bastille for us.
What you catch a glimpse of is a towering 6-foot-something tiefling. Broad-chested, swagger to the walk, but he seems like he's in a bit of a daze. He's clad in a very heavy-looking, worn-down coat that's a deep purple and red. His hair is swept back from his face and around his horns, but his eyes are what catches your attention more than the wardrobe. They are mirror black, and you've only ever seen those in mice or rats before, where you can't see where his pupils are, but there's a hint of like smoke to them. He doesn't quite walk towards any of the crowds. He has a tendency to stay away from them.
And what color tiefling is Bastille?
Bastille is a deep purple, and the ends of his horns are a slight red. It's the only other color he has to him. Oh, and his tail, the spikes on the ends of it also are covered in that same shade of red.
Okay, so you both are kind of entering at the same time. Jack, like I said, Bastille's a big, beefy boy. He stands out. probably anywhere he goes. So you definitely notice him with that 11 perception. Bastille, why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you notice that Jack has kind of clocked you.
That's a 6. He's
You
not
do
paying
not.
attention.
No, Jack. Bastille's a little distracted. So we'll start with Jack. As you enter, what would you? I mean, you notice him, but I don't know that there's anything necessarily about him that would draw you. But where would Jack be going?
Jack is looking for someone that can tell her where she is and where's the best place to go. There, yeah. So if she sees Bastille and he looks as lost as I think, but he's very noticeable, she's gonna jet forward. Oh, hi, over. Oh, help.
He'll kind of like just tense up, look at you for a long moment, and his eyes are gonna get real wide. And he'll be like, I'm gonna need you to calm down. Don't run up on me like that.
Sorry. It was just I'm new here, and I just wanted. Do you know where we are?
Bastille, probably not actually. Based on
No.
Yeah. Based on your history, no, you have no idea where you're at.
He's just gonna. No.
Oh, this is gonna go well.
Oh no.
He's gonna look around for a second and he'll be like,
Blind leading the blind.
I mean, I'm sure we could probably find a map somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
That will help in this
Those are helpful.
situation.
Do you know someone that can find a map?
No, if he'd be brave enough at the moment to... Fuck it, he probably would. He's gonna look around, and the nearest person that makes eye contact with him or is staring that he sees, he's gonna point! And go, you! You know where I can find a map?
So the nearest person who has clocked this very odd conversation between a 6-foot-something tiefling and a very tiny human looking up and with lots of anxious energy is a half-elf woman, and you point at her and she's like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh,
I'm
hi.
sorry, hold on. Go ahead.
We're new, and we just want a map for the area.
Well, you could probably find a map in the market ward. There's shops and stuff there. I don't know where. I'm new as well, just into Westruun.
Oh, excellent. Well, we need. What is your name, sir? And I look up at Bastille.
It's Bastille. You can call me Bass if you want.
Bastille. Well, we need to go to the market district. We have a plan. Andreas! Come on!
Oh. You're by yourself.
Oh yeah, you don't have any.
You arrived by yourself.
Oh no,
I did?
Oh,
Andy?
wait. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Continue. I'm sorry. I had a brain fart.
I think she called this place Westruun.
Westruun.
I don't even know how to spell that.
These funny common names for stuff.
Does Bastille know how to spell a lot of things?
He knows how to write. That's what's important. It's legible and you know what it says. The spelling can be questionable.
Granted, I don't know if that is any better.
Okay, so as soon as she gives you that information and y'all start talking again, she just kind of scurries away because that was very weird, and she's just, let's just get far away from this. But there are like little signposts on the road. You're on the main thoroughfare, and so they have like there's a signpost that says residential ward, so you're aware that you're in the residential ward, and then the next post up has directional arrows on Opal Ward, Temple Ward, Market Ward. And there's another one, Scholar Ward. So there's like little wooden signs that have like the name and directions on how to get there. And if you stay on the main road, you could follow that to get to the Market Ward if you too would like to do so.
Yes.
With a little distraction hindrance, but yes.
Okay. So, you travel along so that you go through the residential ward and you kind of have to cut through the temple ward in order to get over to the market ward. And as you are walking through, you notice a little crowd that's kind of gathered. Now, it's not directly in the market ward because that like a crowd like that in the market ward would probably be shooed away by the guards. But there's just a little crowd, and at the front of the crowd, Nico, why don't you describe yourself?
You see probably a 5'7" gray tabaxi cat man. Various different shades of gray with like a dark patch around his face that makes him look like he has a permanent 5 o'clock shadow. And he is currently juggling, throwing knives in front of this crowd, and there's like a little bowl in front of him for people to throw tips in. There's various shades of brown duster that looks like it's been like torn and patched back together several times over.
Okay. Jack grabs Bastille's arm and is like, oh, look! And just runs over her.
You start to try to move him, and he like dead waits you for a second before he lets himself be pulled forward.
I just have this image of Jack holding Bastille's arm and walking, and like the feet are just moving in the same. They're not moving.
But he realizes that she's not going to give up anytime soon, so he's like, all right. And just allows himself to get pulled forward.
Okay, now before we have Nico give us a description of what he is doing, Adrasteia, you noticed this crowd earlier, and you've set up on the outskirts trying to tempt people over with tarot readings. So you're kind of sitting and you see Jack and Bastille walk up to the crowd. Jack try to pull, I guess you see a human try to pull a tiefling forward, and then the tiefling give in. But you haven't really been paying attention to what's been going on up there because you've been trying to do tarot readings. But hello.
Ah, yes, the little asshole.
Yes. Hey, I'm recording.
Distraction.
I can't hear her, so I didn't hear her approach until she jumped on me. And I was like, woo! Okay, anyway. But the crowd seems to be really focused on what's going on forward. Nobody's really paying attention to you right now. So you're welcome to keep sitting and hoping somebody comes by and wants a tarot read, or you can stand up and watch what Nico's doing. I will leave that up to your discretion, whatever Adrasteia would do.
Adra's probably going to sit and observe for a little while, just because she's amused. She's amused by what's going on with the tiefling and the human at this point.
Okay. Now, when the rest of the group actually notice you, I will have you describe your characters. So we're going to cut back to Nico. Nico, why don't you describe to us what exactly you are doing?
Nico's juggling throwing knives, and he's going to open his jacket and try to catch one of the knives into one of the various slots in his jacket, as a little trick to kind of coax the audience into throwing a tip.
Okay. I need everybody except for Nico to make a perception check.
Okay.
One. Oh, they hate me. Better though. What is that?
Bastille's will be a 15.
15.
And Adrasteia?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I was included that or not.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one who's not, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Nico does not.
17 plus something.
Okay, you all rolled above 15, so
17.
you all notice there are two little kids kind of working their way through the crowd, and they're picking pockets, but with over a 15, you notice that the people that they're stealing from appear to be very well-to-do. They're bypassing the poorer-looking members of the audience and going to the people who are a little bit richer and taking from them. It also doesn't look like they're taking a whole lot, just a little bit here and there.
While they're picking the pockets, and I'm gonna try and catch the thing, and I'm gonna roll for that.
Oh yes,
yeah.
You were trying to
make an ass out of myself.
Got distracted.
What am I rolling? I rolled a natural 12. What am I rolling?
I would say to throw it up and catch in your jacket. That feels like an acrobatics.
Okay. A natural 12 for a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you throw that up. You pull out your jacket, and it slots itself right where it's supposed to go, or right where you meant for it to go anyway.
And so, as it lands, I'm going to stop juggling and close my jacket. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are in for a show. I would kindly request a volunteer if anybody has the courage to step forward.
Oh! Bastille's gonna turn and look the other direction. Like he's waiting for someone else to volunteer instead of him.
I do believe I heard somebody, but I don't see you. Where are you?
I'm just jumping.
He's gonna turn if he hears you trying to volunteer. He's gonna turn and look down at you, and he'll say, "Do you want a hand to get high enough for him to see you?" Or
I smack him on the elbow. I say, yeah, higher.
he is going to take one arm and just reach down and pick you up underneath your knees.
Well, there you are. All right, then. Why don't you come on up here, and don't be afraid. I've only had a moderate amount of alcohol so far today, so this should be perfectly safe.
You want me to just walk you up there, or?
I try and just sort of weasel my way through the crowd. I don't know if I'm making my way very well.
crowd's
If-
not that thick. I mean, there's a good cluster of people, but if it was a huge crowd, the guards would be shutting this down. So it's not a huge crowd. It's just decent, but yeah. You were small and towards the back, so that's why he couldn't see you. But now you can easily make your way up through the crowd onto the stage. It's just an empty.
Nico's standing on like a wooden crate, like a small wooden crate. But what you see behind him is there's a 3 foot wide, 6 foot tall, like plank of wood with a bullseye painted on it. Thank you very much for volunteering, young lady. Would you please just stand right here in front of this board and try your best not to move, because like I said, I have had a little bit of alcohol. No, I haven't, folks. Don't worry. She's perfectly safe. I have had a little bit of... I'm kidding. It's a complete joke. She's safe. Seriously, I don't know how this is going to go. Just hold still. She's going to be fine. All right.
I just sort of wiggle over. What?
Just stay still and try your best not to move. And I'm going to take out of my other pocket a red handkerchief and tie it around my eyes. And I'm going to use a steady aim, because blindfolded I would be disadvantaged. Steady aim, I'm going to be straight roll. And I'm going to throw the dagger and just try to barely miss her.
Okay. So, I think how I'm going to do this is I'm going to have you roll an attack roll. If you meet or beat her AC, you don't hit her. If you go below her AC, you hit her. So go ahead and roll an attack roll.
Okay, for my throwing daggers. Here we go. All right. 15. 15.
1-5. You hit me.
Okay. So, with a 15, I would say it's not like super close to her, but like it's within like 2 inches of somewhere on her. Wherever you're aiming, it's within 2 inches of her body.
I want to whip the blindfold off and look over at Jack and see that I have not impaled her. And go, oh, thank the gods it worked. And take a bow.
There's a smattering of applause. A couple of people throw some gold or throw some tips into your bowl.
Oh, very exciting. Very good. How did you do that with your eyes closed?
I am very, very good, miss. Nico Blue at your service.
Nico, nice to meet you. I grab his hand and I just sort of shake it.
How does Jack look like she has money?
It's mismatched, kind of ripped, kind of dirty.
Okay, so.
But no, so after that trick, does Nico do anything else? The audience is kind of hanging to see if anything else is happening. That would have been
like the finale of his little show.
Okay. So I would say after like a few minutes when Nico and Jack are just kind of talking and exchanging pleasantries and nothing else seems to be happening, the crowd then starts to disperse, and it would be just Nico, Jack, Bastille, and then Adrasteia. You're kind of still towards where the back of the crowd was as the crowd disperses. Let's see if anybody stops for a reading. They do not.
Would Bastille have seen the setup over there whenever he was like looking around and trying to avoid eye contact with Nico?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah,
I got stuck in the tower. Dirty 20.
Okay, so are you looking for Adrasteia's tarot set up on the ground?
He
Is that
would
what
have.
you were looking for?
he would if he would have caught a glimpse of it, he would have come up to it after he made sure
Okay.
Jack didn't die.
With a 30-20, yeah, I'd say when you were kind of like glancing around and not be looking at Nico while he was trying to find a participant, I would say yes. During that glance, you see the one and only person who's sitting like back against a tree at the very back of the crowd with a deck of cards in front of them and like probably some sort of mat that they're dealing on, maybe just aimlessly shuffling, watching the performance. Yes, you would see that.
He would go up to see what she's doing.
Okay, Adrasteia, describe what Bastille sees.
So Bastille sees a purplish blue person that's, while sitting down, doesn't look very tall, but they are about 6 feet tall, with tealish, I would say tealish blue hair and 2 space buns. They seem to have a permanent smile on their face, just seem like they're very cheerful. They're dressed in a green coat that has little patchwork stars on it. That they look like they're the same color. They might be a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. And she is just sitting, just kind of amused by the entire show. And the obvious, oh god, no, not me.
Would Bastille know what those cards are?
That is a you question. In Bastille's past, do you think he would have come across tarot cards?
I think
You
he
can,
would
if
have.
you're not sure and you want to roll for it, you can roll a history check to see if you've come across it. If you think he's seen them before, then I would say go ahead and yes, you know what they are.
He has.
Okay.
It dawned on me. I was
Yes.
like, yeah, he has seen that.
Okay, yeah. Then yes, sure, you know what those are.
You know how to properly use those?
Would I be using them if I was not? If I did
Be
not?
surprised how many do use them without knowing what they can do.
Fortune's what you make of it, don't you think?
He's going to reach down into one of his pockets and pull out a tarot card and flip it over. It doesn't really matter what it is. He's just going to show that he has one.
Because you know what they do too, then.
Mm.
Well, that's better than most. Granted, most come looking for fortunes, for love, for fortune. They want to hear good things. So, I tell them what they want to hear sometimes. It depends on what the cards are saying.
Well, I'd say I'm not looking for either one of those.
What are you looking for?
I don't know, you tell me. He's gonna try to slightly charm you.
Looking for something. For sure. Obviously, everyone's looking for something. Adventure. Perhaps. A home.
Don't know what I'm looking for yet.
Well, maybe the cards can help you find it.
Maybe. Name your price.
Tell you what, for you, it'll be free. Since you're so aimless. We'll keep it simple. 3 cards?
Sounds about right.
Alright. Let me pull up my tarot up again because because phone wants to go. We'll do a past present. Alright. Draw your cards. He's gonna just do little flip and just spread them so that he can pick his 3.
He'll tap his fingers on each one and pull them out of the deck so they're forward.
I don't know why I'm doing that when I'm just gonna use my fucking phone app, but you know. Anyway. So we have, I can't see what the fuck it is, the Four of Wands. Four of Wands. You come from somewhere that my brain is kind of right, sorry. You came from somewhere in the past that maybe you had some kind of family that loved you and you had to leave them behind. And maybe you had a group of people that you used to care for. Now they left you behind, or you've chosen to go forward without them. You're currently you're in, as I said before. So now you've got choices to make. Where you're going, what fate you want. You have to, English is hard. Your fate is up to you. And the choices that you make are going to make you go in a direction that you may not have previously expected. This is not okay. And the Ten of Swords. There is very likely a betrayal in your future. Not from a place you'd expect, but someone from your past might be coming back, and they may try to worm their way into your good graces, only to choose to be less than kind in their betrayal. I don't like this. Yeah, it does not make me feel good.
His jaw's going to set, and he's going to take his hand and place them over the cards. And he is going to mix them all up, take one card out, and lay it on the table. And he's going to place it down, face down, before he flips it over. And it's the Wheel of Fortune.
And it does seem like fate has... And you have a choice to make then. Which way will you take? What path will you choose?
At least you know how to read the cards. And he takes the card, jams it back in the deck kind of angrily. He doesn't really seem to care if it bends or not. He's like, fuck the card.
Tarot.
I don't like that app. That app doesn't make sense to me. But meh.
It's okay. It gave a good reading, so it's fine. While this is going on, Jack and Nico, what are you doing?
Jack would probably have noticed that
Jack?
would probably have, Jack would have noticed that Nico has, like, there's a ring on his finger that he just kind of fidgets with constantly. It's like a tick that he just, all the time. It's if he's not like doing something else with his hands, it's always he's fidgeting with this ring. So did you just get into town? You look like you are fresh off the boat.
Yeah, I'm really new here. I'm so excited to be in a new place, and you did such a cool thing. Very, very dangerous, but very cool.
Well,
It's so exciting in here.
Danger's very exciting, and I find that the people of Westruun do enjoy watching somebody almost die. I don't know what it is. I think it might be true of people everywhere, but every time I do this show, the tips seem to be pretty good. And I'm going to look down and see, like, in the bowl, how much coin may have been dropped in there.
Let's see. So you end up with 5 copper and 3 silver.
Well, it ain't much, but it's going to be enough to eat on tonight.
Well, they don't seem very tasty.
You are flatly adorable. These I will not be eating. These are going to pay for my evening meal tonight.
Oh, trading shiny things. These are very odd shiny things. They're not extremely shiny.
You're
But
weird.
I get it.
I'm not gonna lie. You are quite a strange human being. It's Jack.
Oh, yes, human. Yeah.
I do hope that your tall friend takes good care of you because if
Bastille! You need to meet Bastille! Bastille!
I think you're being paged.
He's
So I'm
gonna
dragging
look.
somebody else's.
have the boys come by.
And actually, I was going to ask you, do they check in with you or do they go somewhere else?
They would probably just walk by and then be gone, like just to give me a little nod.
Okay, yeah. So once the crowds disperse, then yeah, they would have done their walk by and nodded to let you know that they
Okay.
got what they needed.
I want to make sure that they got through okay and nobody caught them.
Yeah. Nope, they made it through.
Are you dragging Nico over to me?
Mhm.
Probably, yeah. She probably could.
It's quite obvious with his size and how big his tail is, but it is very much cat-like with how it moves. It is very irritatingly swishing around on the dirt.
So's Nico's.
He's angry. He's angry.
Nico is on
Okay.
high alert, being dragged across the promenade or
Yeah.
whatever.
I would say that
Not so much
Nico.
dragged, but determination.
Well, he's not a strong boy.
I would say that Nico having a tail would probably notice Bastille's tail and probably can gauge a general idea of the mood that Bastille is probably in.
Do you want me to roll insight
Jack,
or anything, or no?
yeah, let's do an insight check just to see how close you get to the mood.
22.
Yeah. So you probably clock that Bastille is agitated. I would say that Jack and Adrasteia probably not, since you don't have tails. And I don't have any direct history of anybody in your backstory having tails. So
Can I tell what is the source of Bastille's agitation? If he's angry at the tarot card reader, or if he's mad at Jack, or just generally an angry person?
You could tell
So-
it's about the same time he's cramming that card in his pocket.
Okay.
yeah, I would say, like, when Nico and Jack were talking, would Nico have been focused on Jack, or would he be kind of looking around, watching everybody around him?
Nico scopes out everybody all the time.
Okay. Then I would say that you probably noticed that Bastille got agitated towards the end of the reading, so it wasn't like the person probably didn't cause it. Well, let's do a history check and see if you know what tarot is.
Okay. Not great. History 8.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not really sure if it's the person or the cards that is agitating Bastille because you don't know what the cards are. You have seen Adrasteia. She's kind of been um, camping at the back of your crowds for the last couple of days, having discovered you and the fact that you draw a crowd, and that's worked pretty well for her tarot so far. Um, but I'd say maybe this is this like third day that she's been at the back of the crowd. You haven't really talked to her yet, and she hasn't come up to you.
So, oh, well, I guess this is happening. Oh, shit.
I just met. He looks really grumpy, but he's been like that since I met him. So I was like, "Oh, Bastille. Oh, what are you doing?" Oh, right. This is Nico.
Hello. Nice to make your acquaintance, sir.
Hello.
Did you see him do that trick? Did you see him do that trick? I was so scared.
Yeah, I made sure he didn't kill you, or at least try to keep an eye on you.
I'm very good at what I do. It's been, well, about 3 weeks since I've really hurt somebody.
He's gonna kind of tilt his head at you, and you can't quite tell if he's like staring at you incredulously or if he's like impressed because his eyes don't change.
Nico has kind of this smirk on his face, like he might be joking or he might be dead serious.
Not good odds.
I haven't seen either one of you around before, and Miss Jack said she's new in town. I'm assuming you are too. From what I gather so far, Miss Jack is in very far over her head, and I do hope that you are taking good care of her. Have you known each other long?
Oh, yeah. He's,
I'm gonna cover her
How
mouth.
long?
One whole hand across her face. You can't even see. So, he's gonna... Can he sense what the motive is?
So I will have Bastille make an insight check, and Nico, you can make, I would say either persuasion if you have good intentions, deception if you have bad intentions with this question. If you have no intentions with the question, then perception or persuasion. And don't say which one you would obviously.
17.
10.
All right, now you can tell, tell Bastille what Nico's intent is.
Golly, Nico, it seems, with God, that drastic of a difference. People who seem like they are vulnerable or susceptible or naive or something like that, he doesn't like when people take advantage of them, and so he has a kind of a soft spot for those who can't take care of themselves.
You'll see the tension kind of bleed out of his shoulders, and his tail kind of calms down, and he takes his hand off of Jack's face. He's like, not long, and we don't know what the hell this place is or where the hell we are.
Well, welcome to Westruun. It's not the greatest town in the world, but it's certainly not the worst.
It could be a lot worse.
Yes, it could. I've been here quite a while myself. If you all need a tour guide, I suppose I could walk you around and show you where to eat, where not to eat, where's the cheapest place to sleep, that kind of thing.
That'll work.
Awesome. She pulls a twig from her hair.
All right then. Mighty strange.
He's gonna point to Adrasteia and ask, "You with him?" And point back at Nico.
Nope. He
As-
just draws a crowd.
As of yet, we have not become acquaintances. Although I have seen you and your card tricks, and
Tarot cards.
Tarot cards. All right. It is
Moonweaver, but
a
close enough.
pleasure to meet your acquaintance,
Adrasteia, Nimbus.
Adrasteia. Very, very nice. Very lovely name. How well-to-do does Adrasteia seem?
Not well at all. Jeez. Enough to get by. Enough to get by. The only thing that she seems to have that would be of any value to her are her cards. I switched them out because these at least have meanings that work. And they've got weird meanings.
And I guess going off of that previous insight check from Bastille, what you would see is Nico kind of you would like see him visibly like decide, okay, these people are not worth robbing.
Would Jack have seen a tarot deck?
Roll a history check. Probably. Well, maybe, possibly. Yeah. Roll a history.
Possibly, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Dark cardigan.
Hey, oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Dirty 20.
I would say yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen those. Mama had those at home. I don't know what she used them for.
They're for reading people's fortunes. And in this case, it's not necessarily an ordinary tarot deck. These are called Moonweaver cards.
You say Moonweaver?
I did.
Okay. Alright, thank fuck, at least one thing's similar. I was starting to panic.
All right then. Well,
I have questions, but I'm not sure I'm going to get answers on them just yet.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about. But my stomach's starting to growl, so if y'all want to sit down and get something to eat real quick, I can show you a place that has some pretty decent food.
Lead the way.
Where is a place that has some pretty decent food?
You know, I don't know why I didn't consider that you might ask this. So, yeah, give me a second.
Sure.
Let's see. You are in the market ward. So, okay, so you lead them a little deeper into the market ward. As you're going, you pass a very ostentatious storefront. It's very purple, very gold. It looks very, very extravagant to be in the market ward. And the display in the front, just an assortment of magical items, and he leads you past this and down a couple of streets and takes you to the Mute Dragons. And it's your run-of-the-mill fantasy tavern. There's nothing real special about it. You walk in and there is a dragonborn at the bar, and you can smell food cooking from the back. There's, it's pretty busy at this time of day, but you could find a table to seat all four of you fairly easily. It's not like there's no seating available. It's just pretty packed.
Would this be like where Nico goes to eat, like on the regular?
Yeah.
He would go
like
somewhere
it's not
affordable that has like okay food.
Yeah. That's one. It's pretty nondescript in that like they didn't spend any money zhuzhing the place up. It's just kind of bare bones wood, unpainted wood, mismatched tables. It's got really good food for a pretty good price, and you get decent servings. I would say that Nico probably comes here because it's pretty easy to eat and be full, and also have leftovers to take with him.
So, this is my favorite haunt. They have a wonderful beef and vegetable soup.
And how much is it?
How much is it?
I would, yeah. I'm going to say that the soup is probably like a copper, and you can get an ale to go with it for a copper, so you can get a full meal for 2 copper, or meal and drink for 2 copper.
It is.
All right.
It's quite inexpensive, but they have good food.
What'd you say the name of this place is?
The Mute Dragon? Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm. The Mute Dragons.
Mute Dragons, plural.
Yeah.
And as we sit down, I'm just gonna like stick my hand up and like try to wave down the nearest server and.
Okay, yeah. So a server comes over to you. Unless y'all want to role play giving your orders, I'll say that, they take your order and go back to the kitchen to get that all put in, get the order put in.
Just Nico would order like the beef and vegetable soup, an ale, and extra bread. Just so he has something to stuff in his pockets for later.
Yeah, and you know that the soup comes with a pretty sizable loaf. You could probably, like, it comes with one of those like small mini loaves, personal loaves, so like you could easily eat like half of that as opposed to like a single piece of bread. It comes with like a mini loaf, so you could easily order a second loaf to go on there. They know you. They would probably just throw that in because they know why you want it, so they would just give you 2.
As soon as they bring it right into the pocket.
And they have other food. We're just gonna say 2 copper for each of you for food and a beverage, whatever the beverage happens to be. And those orders are put in, and you are all by yourself at the table until the waiter brings those out.
So, go ahead.
Sorry, I guess I noticed people taking these little shiny things out of their pockets.
Oh yeah. And yeah, that's a good point. When they go to order and collect money for it, Jack's just like confused.
Nico just he pulls out his coin pouch and you can see him like visibly like counting like how much money do I have. He puts 2 copper down for Jack.
Bastille's gonna take the coins, place them back in your palm plus your own, and he's going to slide out the copper for the whole table.
It's a power move, Mr. Bastille.
Well, I've held on to it this long and haven't needed it. Might as well use it for something useful.
Well, I'm not going to turn it down. He puts all the money in his coin purse. Like, everything that everybody put down, it's right in his coin purse.
No, that's just wrong.
Do it must survive.
Well, I've gotta get these. I need to find some more shiny things, I guess. I don't like. Oh, never mind. What is this? And I take a bite of stew.
Stew.
That's well, what you ate right there, that was a potato. They grow in the ground. Good Lord.
Sounds like.
Do
Sounds
they
like a
not
really
have
familiar word.
potatoes where you live?
It tastes like And I say some really weird word in Sylvan.
Do any of you speak Sylvan?
Oh golly, do I speak Sylvan?
Nope.
No.
No.
Would I recognize that that's what she was speaking in, or
Yeah, that's a good question. Would we know that's what?
Nico's not worldly. He wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't think any of you have a background that would that would lend you to that. I'm trying to find the backgrounds. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and keep RPing while I look.
Jack, if you don't mind my asking, where is it that you're from?
Oh, well, the wilds. You know, the the hollow in the wilds.
Like the forest, like the desert. There's lots of wild places. The wilds. I'm not familiar with such a place.
What is it in common? Feywild.
Feywild?
That's not real.
Oh,
there's
the Feywild's real.
Bastille's gonna take one look at Jack and go,
now,
what?
do not try to bullshit a bullshitter, Jack. That's not real.
Oh no, the Feywild is very real.
Really?
Really?
I suppose you too are from the Feywild.
How did you get here?
There was a big watery thing, and I walked through it, and then I got dumped into a bunch of bushes. That was
a portal, then.
Yeah.
People talking about portals and Feywilds and what the fuck did I walk into? And he's just gonna stick his head down into the stew and just start eating, going, motherfucker, these fucking crazies.
Where are you from, Nico?
What's that? I didn't hear you, Bastille.
So, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Westruun by way of Amon.
By way of what?
Amon. It's a rather large city. But I left and came here instead.
I ain't got a clue where that is.
I think this was a good choice. I like Westruun.
There's people who don't even know what Amon is with.
Well, would I know the name of the place that I came from?
So I don't recall anything that would make me think you don't.
Hold on.
Yeah, pull up your document. Oh, no. Nope. The place before that, yes. But that, no.
I don't think he would divulge
Yeah,
that just yet. But he's gonna point in the direction of it. He's pretty decent at that, at least. He's like,
yeah,
that
let's see.
shady-ass ruined place. Out that direction.
There are a lot of those.
No, it's close.
So he is pointing to the east, mostly. Like, just slightly southeast, but he's basically pointing east of Westruun.
Scared the daylights out of some folks when I left, though.
With your looks,
Nico,
I can't imagine.
Nico, make a I guess this would be a history check.
History check, okay. Not super
I mean,
good at
geography
history.
is history, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Close
Okay,
enough.
okay.
close
That is
that.
an 18.
Okay, so there's a couple of key phrases that Bastille says that kind of triggers in your mind, and you're like, um, where's my map? Where's my map? There it is. Jesus. Okay. So, him saying shade and giving a slight description of the place, pointing to the east. You are like, well, Shadebarrow's out there, but like nobody's from Shadebarrow.
So you're saying you're from Shadeborough, Bastille.
I came
So-
walking out of there in the
so-
direction of here.
You're telling me in one day, I have met 2 people who are from the Feywild and 1 person from Shadeborough. All
Yeah, so
of y'all can fuck right off.
I'm not technically from the Feywild. I've spent a year there, but that's not where I'm originally from.
Well,
Oh, I'm not from Shadebarrow either. I just left there.
So Nico, with that history check, you also know that there's like an urban legend surrounding Shadebarrow that nobody visits Shadebarrow and comes back alive. Like it's kind of this area that people bypass the roads, all steer clear of it. And there's stories of ghosts and ghouls and all sorts of monsters lurking in there, and the legend that nobody has ever gone in there and then come out. So the fact that Bastille is saying he walked out of there is just ringing kind of incredulous to you, probably, yeah.
I thought I was a good bullshitter, but y'all 3 really take the cake, and I really have to tip my hat to you. But you are all 100% full of shit.
Look at me and tell me that you think that I'm lying to you.
I think you're lying to me,
Does it-
Bastille.
Does it look like I'm lying to you?
Does it look like he's lying?
Make an insight check, and Bastille make a persuasion or deception.
22.
That is a 19.
Okay, so Bastille does not look like he's lying. You're not sure if he's telling the truth, the actual truth, but what he's telling you is what he believes. So this is his truth. You don't know if it's actually true, but you know that he thinks it's true. He thinks that he came out of the Shadebarrow.
I feel like this, since we literally just met a few moments ago, that this might be a little bit too personal a question to ask, Bastille, but I have to inquire. Have you ever seen one of those people that you talk your problems through with?
He's gonna sit back. Do I see anything around him?
What do you mean?
With my background, do I see anything around him?
Hold
A
on, I don't know
tree?
what you're referring to.
Trees are really good listeners.
Are you talking about my mother?
No, I'm being serious.
Now Jack's talking about trees listening to people. What have I got?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
myself
not part of the
into?
background. I think it's part of something else.
Yeah, I'm like, I did read over the backgrounds real quick, but like nothing's popping. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is
You can
it
send it
like
in
a
Whisper.
I will.
like a class trait or something, or a subclass trait?
I'm looking. It's under. I got it. Here. I'll copy and send it to you.
I have your character sheet pulled up, so I can.
Did anyone let Jack have a tankard?
No.
Or just the stew?
It's stew and water.
Bastille paid.
I was saying-
Oh, we got her water.
I would say water or juice.
Okay.
He doesn't know what else is here. He just gets water and food.
Ooh.
Good, good.
Gosh, I didn't know you had this.
That's up to you. I can always take it off.
No, I like it. I like it. Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
I got you. Am I gonna look? Ooh. That is a 13. I rolled a 10 and a... Well, no, hold on. A 10 and a 14?
I just saw something in
14. Sorry.
in your description that's making me
It's a
laugh.
14. Oh, yeah! I'm glad you saw that!
That's amazing. I love it. So with a 14, I would say you don't see anything. But you feel something when you look. Well, like when you look and focus at Nico with that intent. Bastille doesn't see anything, but he can sense something around Nico.
Do I particularly know how that feeling feels to me?
It doesn't feel good.
Is it... Can I tell what it is? Is it sad, rage?
I'm gonna have you do an insight check. And I feel like this should be at disadvantage since it's just a feeling. There's nothing to base it on.
That's a 12. It's just getting lower from here.
Yeah. So no, you don't know exactly what it is. It's just, it doesn't feel good. And it makes you a little nervous.
Am I getting
Not-
anything? With
not-
Bastille kind of examining me, am I getting anything?
Me causing this?
I would say that this whole thing with Bastille was just like a look at you and then done. It took not more than seconds. It's not like
So he's not
he
like,
was just
like
staring at you.
scrutinizing me like intently.
No,
or anything. Okay.
no. Like I would say his eyes glance over, like look at you and then look around you and then is done.
Okay.
Something feel off over there, buddy?
Well, aside from being surrounded by a bunch of crazies, no, everything's just fine.
Alright. I'll believe that for a while. So, he's gonna look to Adra, saying, "So where are you from?" Because obviously this is an odd roundup.
The short answer or the long one?
Oh god, there's a long answer.
Aside from the year in Feywild.
I'm not from Tal'Dorei. I can tell you that much.
So this is Tal'Dorei.
This is Tal'Dorei.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a Tal'Dorei.
Tal'Dorei is the name of this continent.
Oh!
Nico is going to finish his stew as quickly as he can.
I'm from Wildmount. I'm from Wildmount originally.
From where?
Wildmount.
That far away?
There's an ocean away.
Okay, so Nico is like, he's not an educated man at all. Would he have even heard of Wildmount? Perhaps?
Make a history check.
Make a history check, okay.
I feel like with advantage because
this would be like
you're
somebody
in
not
Westruun.
hearing about South America despite not
Exactly.
going to school. So,
Exactly.
But
So we'll do it with advantage because
Okay.
you're in Westruun and Westruun is a hub.
Okay.
So
yeah, even with my shit history at advantage, that's an 18. So
Yes, you have heard of Wild Mounds, and you do know that it's another continent on this world, but you don't know where it's at. Not really.
I
You just
couldn't
know
point
that
to
it's
it on a
near.
world map or on a
No,
globe or something. Okay.
no, you'd probably point to Marquette.
It's Nico would be oddly kind of reassured that at least, okay, you're saying you're from this world, not some fictional place called the Feywild. Or Shadowborough or whatever the fuck the place was called.
Yeah, Shadowborough.
Well, it has been fun, but if you don't mind, I'm going to have to excuse myself because I believe y'all are nothing but trouble.
And you
Wait.
are.
I am what?
And you are not trouble?
Well, I'm not saying I'm not trouble. I'm saying y'all are more trouble than I'm willing to get myself into on this particular day.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
You know, with the knife throwing, I thought you'd be a little bit more brave than that.
It's my courage stops at genuine insanity, and you three fit the bill.
Well then, how about I give you a little bit of a story? Would that work?
I'm rolling for myself to see if he would stay. Well, shit. Is it a good one?
It's got vampires in it.
Fuck, more fictional shit. Whatever. Alright then.
I'm gonna call over the bartender. I'm gonna order another round of drinks.
Okay, Mark
It's all mead.
or copper.
I've always
Alright,
heard
Bass.
that.
Oh, sorry.
I've always heard that it's not worth telling a good story without drinks.
Are you gonna take a torch and hold it under your face like we're telling spooky stories around the campfire?
He's gonna look at you, kind of tilts his head a little bit, and he's gonna cast Minor Illusion, and it's gonna cause every light in the tavern to flicker, like they're threatening to go out. How much do you believe in ghosts, vampires, and things like that? You stay cooped up in Westruun a lot, where the walls are high and you're safe.
Let's just say that I've never seen anything that would lead me to believe that there is anything beyond this world. If you could show me something that would provide that evidence, I would be willing to believe. I just have not seen anything myself.
Well, I ain't got physical evidence, but I could tell you what it looks like, how they fight, what they can't handle.
Is this a love story?
You wish it was.
Well, fuck it. If there's drinks, I'll listen. Shit.
Have I found Andy at this point?
I would hope so.
Whitestone Andy?
Whitestone Andy.
Isn't Andy like kind of always on your person?
He's supposed to be, but you said I didn't see him.
Well, I thought you said Adra.
Oh.
And yeah, and I was like, Adra's not with you. And then it clicked that you said Andy, so that I backtracked that. So yeah, Andy's with you, yes.
He's going to put his hands upon the table, and he's going to lean in a little. He's like, do you ever walk a little bit too far from where you're supposed to be heading and walk into some shit you wish you hadn't seen?
How much of his childhood does Nico remember? He was very young when everything went down.
I'd say he knows like the bare bones. Now, whether that's from memory or from the stories told to him, who knows? But he does have a recollection of what happened. Yes.
So, I've already seen more than most people have of things they would rather not see, and experience things people would rather not experience.
Well, came across a circus once. You know, they had these acts like throwing knives, tarot cards, things like that. But that's not. It's not the worst thing they had. You would think the owl bear or the big squishy cube thing would have been enough to scare the shit out of people, but they had this cage sitting far back in the corner, and they had it covered. And I kept seeing this lady walk through there. She kept leading people back there, but they wouldn't come back out. If you catch my drift. So I'm not about to.
They were fucking.
I wish. I followed one of them back there. She was feeding them to this boy trapped in a cage. And when I say she was feeding him to this boy was crawling from the top to the bottom of the cage to grab them. And he was stronger than any of the men, women that she threw in there. I had no idea what she was doing to this kid. So I opened the cage. And that was the biggest mistake I've ever let happen in my life. At that moment. Because he came out of the cage, and I found out why he was in there. Turns out it wasn't a kid, it was a fully grown man crouched down. About the size of one. And he was sinking his fangs in anything that was moving. It wasn't until broad daylight, when he had nowhere to hide, that he just caught fire. And come to find out, the lady's son years ago got bit by a vampire somewhere, and she just couldn't bear to have anyone lay her hands or their hands on her baby. There is no cure for whatever he had. But they told me that he was a vampire, so. Turns out, though, if you do get bit by one, and he does, like, pull his sleeve up, and there are marks on his arm. And he's like, turns out you don't actually get turned when you get bit the first time. Good news for me. But bad news for the rest of those folks. I couldn't get out of the way fast enough.
That is a truly fascinating story, Bastille. I especially appreciate the marks on the arm.
You ain't gonna believe nothing I say, will you?
Until I see evidence for myself. I'm not gonna. I don't believe in mystical creatures. And without having to see it myself, if you're going to tell me there's a vampire or a fairy or whatever, I need to see. Now, dragons. That's something I've seen for myself.
I don't think I've ever seen well, not one up close.
Do you want to hear a story? I got one. I was 3 years old. Big red dragon and a few others flew into a lawn. Burned practically the whole city to the ground. My family, we were out at a gathering. I think the king of Amon or something, I don't remember. He was speaking or something, and we were there watching. And it flew in and burnt damn near everything. I remember my brother, he pushed me out of the way into a building, but it wasn't enough. He was going to pull his shirt. You see, he's got just an area on his shoulder that goes down into his back where there is no fur. It's just burn scars. I need to see it to believe it.
Fair enough.
Adrasteia.
Mm-hmm.
When Nico says, I need to see it to believe it, it kind of triggers something in your mind. Usually when weird shit happens, it goes up on the job boards. So if he needs to see it, you could always check out the job board and see if there's something weird going on nearby that you can show him.
Well, if it's a see it to believe it, why don't we check the job boards? There's usually something, isn't there?
Tell you what. Let's make a wager. You show
Yeah,
me
okay.
some shit that'll make me halfway believe any of the stuff you say. Spiritual creatures or whatever. I'll give you half the money in my pouch.
Let's go check the job boards then.
Alright. Bastille's gonna chug and eat whatever is on the table in front of him as fast as he can before they leave.
There has also been a very tiny hand popping out and grabbing pieces of stew and dragging it back into my coat.
Well, we'll see. Everybody except for Jack make a perception check, and we'll see who notices this little tiny hand popping out and eating.
Nope.
All right, Nico doesn't see it.
That would be a 7. I have a +5 to perception. That's a 7.
Oh no!
Be a 6. That's a no.
That's an
I don't
8.
have. I have a 0. I've got
Okay,
no.
so yeah, Jack, that hands popping out and eating. None of them notice. Not a single.
And I
one.
don't think it's weird, so
And you don't think it's weird, so you wouldn't think to say anything. So yeah, nobody notices. The audience gets to see a hand pop out, but none of them see. Nico's been here long enough that he does know that there's a job board in the Opal Ward, and he knows where it's at and could lead the group there. Because the rest of the group has no fucking clue. Adrasteia might have found it in the few weeks that she's been here.
is this how you find stuff?
This is where folks go to find work. Usually it's boring shit like killing rats in a cellar or something like that.
It's a good way to earn money, if you have no other ways of doing so.
Money. What's money?
The shiny coins.
Oh! Money. Okay. We can get those. I don't have any of those.
Don't worry, I got you covered.
We'll take care of you.
Y'all might be crazy, but I appreciate your altruism.
You would think that'd be enough to convince you we've actually seen shit.
I think you think you've seen shit, but I don't think you've seen shit.
He's gonna walk over and try to find the most, like, the one creature he thinks that Nico would never have seen to point it out.
Like in the crowd?
Oh, on the board.
Oh, on the board.
Oh.
Okay, gotcha. I was looking. I'm like, what?
No,
Um,
on the board.
So on the board, there are a mishmash of jobs, and most of them are the boring shit that Nico is saying, like kill some rats in the basement, or, a tavern needs somebody to help bounce some people out on occasion, stuff like that. But there is one that catches your eyes. And this one, I probably should have made up like what it said, but the gist is that there are some mines on the outskirt of Westruun to the west that are having that are being pillaged during the night, and they're seeking someone to come help figure out who is stealing from the mines during the night and come take care of that. Now, this catches your attention because miners are not like they're hardy folk. So if stuff's going missing during the night, you would think, well, they would set up watches and take care of this problem on their own. So obviously that's not working, which immediately pings that this is either a group of people who is really strong, or it's not people at all, and that you should probably look into this. And it's signed by Jeremiah Sook, head of the Regional Miners Guild. It also, at the bottom, says, willing to pay a hefty bounty for the culprits.
Jeremiah Sookhead?
Jeremiah Sook.
So, okay.
Yeah, head of the Regional Miners Guild.
They had me at hefty bounty, but it sounds like there's going to be some bandits here we're going to have to take care of. But I'm in.
That's not fair.
Alright. Looks
This
like we're
is-
on.
Yeah. Adventure? Is this?
It's a job.
Oh.
Adventure, yes, adventure.
Ah, okay.
It's going to be something different, for sure.
Help is on the way. And I don't know where Jack's going, but she's walking.
Jack starts walking. Yeah, Bastille turns her around to the correct direction.
Man, I'm not going to be able to sleep a wink with you around until you're asleep, huh?
Well, yeah, it's kind of... What time is it? And I still walk outside.
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to get rope,
We have to
leash,
get the leash. We have to get the leash for her.
rope, tied around her waist.
So it is probably like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Nico, how do you ever leave Westruun, or do you just stay inside?
He doesn't leave much, but he's gone, to maybe some small villages in the near area to do some trading and that kind of stuff.
Okay, then Nico would probably know that they could make it to the area that the mines are indicated on the job description. They could probably make it there within a couple of hours, so they could definitely make it there before sunset. And this has been happening at night, so going at night is probably advantageous.
So we should wait.
We should probably get there early to set up a watch.
Maybe we should talk to a few of the miners as well. See if anybody's seen anybody suspicious lurking nearby.
Yeah,
I'd say
but
so, yeah.
probably better off talking to Jeremiah Sook himself instead of just the miners. Could be the miners taking the stuff.
You think they're trying to
It doesn't
hoodwink him?
hurt.
People trying to eat.
Do you all make any stops on your way outside of Westruun, or are you just going to head straight to the mine?
I think we're just gonna head straight to the mine. Oh, I am gonna summons my little familiar, the fox. As we're keeping a leash on Jack, as it were, think I have something that might help a little bit. At least if she gets in trouble, oh shit, I don't actually have a name for them.
A fey fox appear and it's
Robin.
like, oh, those are so adorable. What's their name?
Robin.
Wait, you cut out Gavin?
Robin.
Okay.
Cabin? A fox named Cabin.
Bruh.
No worse than a cat named Pumpkin.
I mean, we do have something called an Andy.
Oh yeah, he's right here.
Which
He's
we don't
very
know
quiet.
about. We haven't seen him.
Oh yeah, we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that was
Like,
Ashley out of character.
Yeah, I don't know what an Andy is.
Yeah.
Oh, who heard me say Andy?
Out
None
of
of
character. I heard
Yeah,
you say.
that was Ashley out of character.
Out of character.
Yes.
Never mind.
His name is Robin.
Oh,
As soon as he like apparates, he's like, "Holy shit!" Now that's see, now that was some mystical shit that I now believe in, as I can see it.
Wait, have you not seen magic?
She apparated a living creature out of the air.
Well, he came from his home plane, the Feywild.
Now that is interesting. I have to think about that.
He's a Fey fox.
No, anybody could just like come over here. They always just
Magic.
dance around everywhere.
Magic.
That is quite interesting.
I can't quite do that.
I still don't think there's such thing as vampires, though.
DM takes a note.
Oh God.
We are level 5. Just the
Throw that out there. We're
TPK
only
the
level
party.
5.
Honestly, I kind of hope you don't ever have to not believe in that. Like, I want to make sure that you never see evidence of that. I don't want to see any more evidence of that.
So, as you all make your way to the mines, as you pass out of Westruun, there's kind of like an expanse of just plains. And then as you get further away, some farms start popping up. And right before you get to where the job board indicated you need to go, there's like a cluster of farms like right outside. So you've got like this little farming community with like fields of squash or whatever, little scarecrows in the middle. And then right after this little farming community is the mine proper. And you've got like the outer mine where you've got the tents and stuff where the miners sleep during the day, and then there is a big giant hole going into the mountain range there that I am blanking on. I think it's the Cliffkeep Mountains, but whatever. Into the side of the mountains there is a big hole, and you can see as the sun is starting to set. It's not setting yet, but the sun is starting to set, and you can see the miners leaving the mine. I want everybody to roll a perception check.
Oh shit! Right out of the thing. Natural 20 for a 25.
Nice.
16.
Okay.
18.
Good perception checks. Except for Jack, maybe?
For Jack.
14.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So Jack, you notice that all of the miners seem to be in a hurry. The rest of you notice that they all look scared as they're leaving. And as you walk into the mining little village there that's set up around the mine, the people coming out of the mine don't really pay you any mind. And there's a bunch of little tents, but then there's like a bigger tent towards the center of the little village. That probably that's where you could find the people who are overseeing the mine.
Now,
And
you said they were coming out of the mine, and they look out of the mine. They look scared.
yeah, so
Are they like full on sprinting? Holy shit, scared, or they just look at unease?
No, they are. Holy fuck! It's almost nighttime, and shit happens at night. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so they're just moving quickly.
Scared.
Okay.
Yeah. They're very
not
nervous.
Panicked, but moving.
Not
back.
panicked.
Gotcha.
They're scared and nervous, but it's more to get out before the sun fully sets, as opposed to something's going on down there.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're here.
We're here. There is something to these rumors.
Yeah, these folks definitely seem spooked by something.
That's not normal bandit.
How about
Let's look for this Jeremiah. See what we can find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should probably find out why they're running the other way.
I'm gonna guess that he's in that tent.
I would guess so too.
Who
All right then. You just start marching over.
he'll follow, but he'll stay closer towards the back. He's like watching to see if anything else comes out of the mines behind the miners.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Nico leads the way to the tent. There's nobody outside the tent. There's not like a guard or whatever. So
Poke
like,
my head
but you
through
can
the
hear voices within.
Just gonna,
And
just poke my head through the flap and cut like a little bit and try to listen to what they're saying.
okay, hold on. Are you trying to be sneaky or?
I'm not like being super sneaky, but I want to listen for a second before I poke my head the rest of the way in.
Gotcha. So inside you see there's a table set up and there are two people sitting at that table. One is a very, very old looking gnome with probably used to be red hair, but most of it's gone gray. There's only a few areas where you can see the red still shining through. A hefty bald plate here. And he is talking with a human, and because I cannot RP improv with myself, it looks like you've come in on an argument where the human is putting in their notice and doesn't want to work at the mine anymore, and he's trying to convince him to stay on, that he's taking care of it, stuff like that.
So as I catch that, I'm gonna just stick my head the rest of the way in. We're here about a job.
See, I told you I was taking care of it. Just give me 2 more days. 2 more days. And the human man is like, 2 days. That's it. And then I'm out. And he stalks out past you. Come in, please.
Bass, follow that guy. I'll talk to him. I want to hear.
I'm
what
just
he
gonna
has to
reach
say.
out.
That sounded violent.
And I'm way too damn dynamic.
Reach out.
Who has ADHD?
And touch something.
Without saying you have ADHD.
Amazing.
God.
Jesus Christ. Oh no, where'd the Angelite go? There it is.
Nothing broke, did it?
No. Angelite's sturdy.
goodness.
Thank God. It's not citrine. I was trying to block the sofa light. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll reach out and like, just grab the guy, like by the back of his shirt. Like,
I just want to hear what he has to say here in a minute.
Yeah, he'll just grab him. And he's like, I have a couple of questions.
Okay. So let's go to Nico and whoever went in with Nico with the gnome. We'll do that conversation first, and then we can cut over to Bastille and the human. So who went in with Nico?
I'll go in with him.
I got distracted by Bastille grabbing someone, so I'm just sort of smacking him a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that's very valid. Okay, so Adrasteia and Nico, you are in so you saw my job the offer on the job board.
Yeah, and from the sound of things are not going very well right now. Can you elaborate on what the situation is?
Yes. So, sorry, apologies, manners. I am Jeremiah Sook.
My apologies, Nico Blue. This is my
nice to meet you,
comrade
Nico.
Adrasteia.
So I about 3 weeks ago, I noticed that some of the iron in the mine has been missing, and after noticing, set up watches like you do, but anytime I set up a watch, that person wasn't there in the morning. Now I don't know. They could be being recruited by whoever's doing this. I don't think so. I think it's a little bit more nefarious than this. Everywhere, like, the iron's not cleanly being mined by whoever's coming in there. There's like these gouges in the earth through the iron mines, or the veins of iron. Like they're like it's like an animal's clawing them out, but I don't know why an animal would want iron. So it doesn't make sense. But I'm afraid to put any more watches up because the people are disappearing, and if they're disappearing because they're dying, I can't have that on my conscience. So I need some hardier people to go in and take a look, see what we're up against.
Adrasteia, you've been to the Feywild. Do you know of any particularly large beasts that maybe could be inhabiting these mines and eating the miners?
To be fair, I stayed in one spot in the Feywild. But no, how big are these claw marks anyway?
Well, each claw mark is about like 1 inch across, and then they're about like, if I had 1 inch claws and written down, like, they're about that big, maybe a little bigger.
Pops his own claws and like compares like how thick they would be.
Yeah, like that. Have you been in my mind?
So
my
not
claws aren't
very
big
large.
enough. My claws aren't an inch wide.
Or they've been filed down from digging in the dirt.
So not very large.
I'm here to help. If you're going to start throwing accusations, I can leave.
Did you find anything left behind from your watches?
Not from the watches, no, but occasionally by where they've been clawing up the dirt, there's like this dark blue mercury-like substance.
Do you have any of it? Have you collected any of it?
No, it's like drops.
I see.
How long did it take to get out here? What time of day is it?
It's the sun's going down. It's dusk.
And well, there's no reports of anyone actually seeing a creature or anything in the mine. The people who are on the watch just disappeared and never heard from again.
Yeah. Nobody's seen it. Nobody's heard anything. I mean, to be fair, mining's hard work. So by the time we come up here from a whole night of mining, we're tired. We don't hear much of anything. But everybody we put on watch has disappeared.
All right, I'm going to whisper to Adrasteia. I think what we have here is some thieves who are trying to hide what they're doing. I think this is going to be pretty cut and dry. So why don't we see what Bastille has with the other feller, and then head on down the mine and maybe suss out what's what.
I'm not sure that it's so cut and dried, but I don't think we're going to get any more information from it. So I do agree that we need to go see Bastille.
Okay, and we will cut over to Bastille, Jack, and unnamed human man. So Bastille, you reach out and grab him, and he tenses like all up, like fight or flight, and he chose freeze.
Like, now ain't no use in acting like you're gonna piss yourself.
What?
Just got a couple of questions for you about whatever the hell it is you got going on here.
Put him down.
I don't have him lifted up. I'm just holding his shirt so he don't run.
But oh my God.
I don't know what's happening here. We thought some bandits were coming in and stealing the iron, whatever. You deal with that, you chase them off, they go and find a new mine to fuck with. But we started doing watches, which is how you deal with that shit, and the people aren't coming back. And my buddy Kevin, he had the last
Kevin. Fantasy Kevin.
Damn it, Kevin.
Kevin.
He's a human. His buddy is Kevin. My buddy Kevin had the last watch last night, and he didn't come back. Now, he wasn't supposed to have a watch. Jeremiah was mad about that at first until I told him that Kevin didn't come back. He stopped the watches because he doesn't know what's happening to him. But I know a lot of the people think that the bandits are just turning people and getting them to join their side. But Kevin wouldn't do that. Something happened to Kevin. He would come back. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He didn't leave. He didn't join the bandits.
So,
Oh my goodness.
what have you seen inside the mines during the daylight hours when you're in there?
We haven't seen anything in there. There's some claw marks through some of the veins of the iron. We thought it was staged. You know, a couple of daggers spaced about finger width apart could make those same claw marks. They're nothing. We don't know nature. But they're there in the morning in new places that they weren't the night before. So whatever's coming in is leaving those.
Well, I know animals. I mean, I'm pretty good. You know.
What would dig out ore or iron?
I have no idea.
Metal eating displacer beast. No, that doesn't fit. Maybe.
Never mind. We'll find out what it is.
Well, I hope you do, because if you don't, I'm out of here. I'm not taking a chance.
That's fair.
Can I have my shirt back?
You gotta let go, but now there's claw holes in there.
Nice. I don't think he notices. He just, as soon as you let go, he bolts to his tent. And
I'm so sorry.
So that is where we're going to stop for tonight. Thank you all very much for watching, and we hope you check in next time and see what the adventurers do in this mine.
Ah.
I'm so